Hey, fourth grade, here to help you with how we can measure angles. Now, angles are measured in degrees. So to do this, to get the exact measure of this angle, we use a little tool called a protractor. So hopefully you have a protractor to measure these angles, and that's all you need. So let's take a look at how we're going to measure this. So first thing you need to do when measuring an angle is you need to ask yourselves, is this angle acute, right, or obtuse? Well, thankfully, if it's right and it has that little square, we don't even need to measure it because we know it's going to be 90. So now we're left with acute or obtuse. And you're going to ask, why is this going to come in handy? And you'll find out in just a moment. So I'm going to look at this angle. All right, so if I think about a square corner, it's kind of closed more, must be an acute angle. So before I even measure it, I know whatever angle, whatever measure I get, it has to be less than 90. If I did something greater than 90, then I did something wrong because that's an obtuse angle and this is an acute angle. So let me walk you through how to solve this problem. So on a protractor, we have a couple different important things. The first thing that you need to realize is I have this little hole right here, and that little hole is where my vertex goes. So I need to put my vertex right on that hole. The second thing is you may notice this line right here. Some protractors have it all the way to the 180 and 0. Mine just has it a little bit. Either way, doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that that line is lined up with one of the rays and needs to stay on your vertex. So I have my vertex in my circle and my bottom ray is lined up with that. So to find out this angle, I just need to see, I need to follow this other ray and see, so it lines up. I'm just gonna go to the nearest 10. It says it's either close to the 60 or 120 because the protractor's not smart enough to know which one it is. We have to be smart enough. So I know that's either 60 degrees or 120 degrees. It lines up with both of those numbers. So how do I figure out which number it is? 60 degrees or 120 degrees. How am I supposed to? Oh, you know what? First thing I did is ask myself, is this an acute angle or an obtuse angle? And I said this was an acute angle. Well, I know an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So which of these is less than 90 degrees? Well, 60 is definitely less, 120 is more, so it can't be 120 degrees. This angle must be 60 degrees. So this angle is 60 degrees. So again, I just put my circle as my vertex. I lined up that bottom ray, and I just saw where the other ray, what it intersects. And it's really around 61, 62, but just quickly, rounding it. So I have another angle here. Looks like a slightly different angle here. So again, I'm going to ask myself, is this a right angle? It doesn't look like it. There's no square. Is it an acute angle? Is it an obtuse angle? Well, if I think about what a right angle looks like, that's where this would be going straight up and down. And since it's opened more, this must be an obtuse angle. So an obtuse angle, I know, that is greater than 90 degrees. So if I get an angle that's not greater than 90 degrees, I know I did something wrong. So I'm going to use my handy-dandy protractor. I'm going to find my circle and put it right in the vertex. All right, check. Going to make sure that these lines are lined up with one of the rays. Oh, be careful not to lose the vertex. Check. And now I just need to see where it crosses. So again, I'm going to go to the nearest 10 just for ease. And I see that it crosses, all right, it's crossing around the 50 and the 130. So this angle is either 50 degrees or 130 degrees. Because the protractor, it's not just, it doesn't say, hey, pick me. Protractor, unfortunately, is not that smart. We have to be smart. So we have to think. All right, so again, going back to the type of angle, well, I said this was an obtuse angle. Obtuse angle, I know, is greater than 90. Only one of these numbers is greater than 90. It's not going to be 50. It's going to be 130 degrees. So I know that this angle is 130 degrees. So hopefully this video helps out. When it comes to a protractor, just the more practice you have, the better. It becomes very easy when you've done this a whole bunch of times. and remembering, is it an obtuse angle, acute angle? That will really help you figure out which one is it, because the protractors are giving us two numbers. It's maybe giving us 20 and 160. It may be giving us 110 and 70. We need to be smart enough to figure out which one.
Alex, for dismissal, Alex.
And that all starts with looking at the angle and classifying it, whether it's obtuse, right, or acute. All right, hopefully this helps,
Alex
and I'll see you
Brenda
next time.